Okay, so today we are going to start cyber security. We have talked about so many problems in the cyber sphere. So many problems like cyber terrorism, cyber squatting, cyber vandalism, virus, malwares like worms. So many problems are there. So we should be having some security for protection in the online sphere, means in the cyber sphere, that is cyber security. The rapid growth nowadays, information technology is growing at a very fast pace. So the rapid growth in the information technology sector means the IT sector. IT sector means computers, internet, hardware, software, everything combined together. So because of the growth of the IT sector, it has transformed the method of creating data, storing data and sharing data. Previously for creation of data, we were using pen and paper. Now for creation of data, means for writing something, we are using typing in Google Docs or MS Word. For storing the data, we are not storing them in a book. We are storing them online, and we are sharing the data directly in WhatsApp group or sending the email. So it has transformed the way we were creating the data, storing the data and sharing the data. It has various advantages. For example, at the same time I can share the data with thousands of people. I can again and again delete and rewrite the data. In paper I cannot do this. So it has various advantages, but at the same time it is highly vulnerable to threats. Someone can delete my data, someone can steal my data. So it is highly vulnerable to many threats. For example, stealing of confidential information. Your important information, your personal information can be hacked by someone. Someone can hack into your account, hacking accounts, hack into your bank account, hack into your email account, Facebook account. Someone can have unauthorized access of your computer from outside because of internet. Someone can access your computer directly without your authority, without your permission, and so many things and so on. Therefore, it is essential to have good knowledge of cyber security. How can you make your system secure? How can you make your website secure? How can you make your data secure? So cybersecurity refers to protection of computers from theft of data and damage to their hardware and software. So when we are protecting our computers from data theft, when we are protecting our server from data theft and our hardware and software, that is called cyber security. Over a period of time, when we started using internet, 1960s, 1970s, now so many technologies have been developed to protect your network, to protect your computer, to protect your data, to protect your program or software from virus attack, from unauthorized access by someone, unauthorized control by someone, and your potential damage of hardware. Some cyber security technologies and programs have been given in the book. So we will study them one by one. First is antivirus. I think you all know about the antivirus. Okay. The term antivirus refers to a software. So it is actually a software which is used to identify the virus, prevent the virus from attacking the system, removing the virus from the system, or deactivating the malicious software, means the virus. So this malicious or bad software is identified. Where is it? By searching. It prevents it from accessing your files or folders. It removes it from your computer. Antiviruses are also called anti-malware software because they are anti or against malware. Now protecting a computer and its data against any virus attack has become one of the top priorities of this time. Your data is very important, so you need to protect your data. You can yourself not able to, you are not able to do this, so you need someone who can help you, and this is the software that can help you in safeguarding your data and your computer. Therefore, it is always recommended to install an effective, a good antivirus software in the computer. The benefit of installing antivirus in a computer is that it prevents any malicious software, means any virus, from damaging your valuable information, your data, and your important files which are stored in the computer, stored in it. Preventing the virus from attacking and removing any kind of malicious software ensures proper functioning of the system. So time to time it will search your system and it will try to identify any virus which is there, prevent the virus from attacking your system and removes it. There are various antivirus software available in the market. For example, some popular one are Quick Heal, very popular Indian brand, Kaspersky, Norton, McAfee and AVG antivirus. There are so many other also, Avira also, but these are popular. The antivirus software performs the following task. First, examines files and programs as they are open. Suppose I will click on MS Word, directly click on MS Word. So when I will click on MS Word to open it, it will automatically examine this file to check if it is having virus or not. If I am accessing any file from internet, means I am downloading any file from internet, it will automatically examine this file. When you copy file from pen drive or from one computer to another, it will examine the file. So whatever file is coming, it will examine the file and programs. It scans the incoming emails also with attachment. So whatever email is coming, it will automatically check the email for virus. If you are downloading any attachment from the email, it will scan that attachment also. It will scan the file and applications which are stored in your computer so that they can detect the virus. So when you are downloading something, when you are downloading any attachment, it will scan it, and time to time it will scan the whole system, the whole computer also, to detect any virus. And if it detects any virus, it removes the virus from the computer. What are the features of antivirus software? Means what are the things which are there in the antivirus software? Antivirus has become one of the most essential part of computing now. Every computer needs antivirus software. It is very important to choose good antivirus software. Different types of antivirus softwares offer different levels of protection and different types of features. For example, Quick Heal gives you the opportunity of healing the virus, means deleting, instead of deleting, you can try to heal the virus also. So all antivirus software are not equally capable of protecting a computer from malware and other cyber threats. Some are very good, some are not so good. Okay. So before buying any antivirus software, you have to make sure to look into the following features. If the antivirus is giving you these features, then it is good, otherwise it is not that much good. Real-time scanning, when you are downloading something, when you are copying something, at the same time, real time, it should scan the file. It is the most dynamic feature of a good antivirus software. It repeatedly checks a computer system for the presence of malicious entities, means virus. This feature restricts the entry of malware because at the same time they are scanning it. After some time when it will come, then it can create its copy. So at the same time when the files are getting downloaded, files are getting copied, then that time it should search. Automatic update. Daily thousands and thousands of viruses are getting created. So if you have bought a copy 1 year before and it is searching your computer for a virus which is created 1 day before, it will not be able to find it. So automatic updates are very important. Every day new types of malwares are emerging, created, viruses are created that cannot be detected and prevented by the older version. Therefore, antivirus software require frequent update, daily update. Daily it should have the directory, it should have the directory of all the viruses it is having. It is advisable to install antivirus software which can install updates automatically itself and frequently. At least 2 to 3 days they should have one update. Otherwise, the new viruses which are coming in the market, they will not be accessible. Next thing that you should be checking for is protection for multiple app. An antivirus must be capable of scanning the entire system, means all the applications, all the software which are installed in the computer system. Next thing is it should be hard enough to fight all types of malware. Suppose you have bought an antivirus software which can fight only virus, not worm. It can only fight against Trojan horse. It cannot fight against worm. Then it will not be helpful. So many antivirus programs are designed to target some specific type of malware, means virus, some are for Trojan horse. So they may fail to detect and remove the other types of virus. For example, worm, ransomware. They will not be able to detect them. So it is good decision to go with a software that can thoroughly detect almost all types of malware. Ransomware also, spyware also, virus also, Trojan horse also, worm also, and so many different types of viruses are there. Next is firewall. Firewall is like a wall. Okay. For example, when you enter into school, okay, in any exam day, so before entering into the classes, you sometimes you are checked to check if you are bringing something which is important or not, or if you are bringing something which is bad, you are bringing some material for cheating in the examination. So someone is checking. That is your wall. That is the wall to restrict the entry of unwanted material. Suppose the guard or the teacher in the class can be a firewall to restrict the entry of unwanted items in the class or in the school. Likewise, firewall also acts as a wall. It checks every material which is coming in the computer and every material which is going from the computer. It checks and then allows them to go. So no bad material can come in the computer and no data which is important for you will go without your permission, because it will check everything. So when your computer is connected to a network or internet, then data are getting transferred very fast. Right now I am speaking, my voice is getting transferred, your photos, your screen is getting transferred rapidly. So in this condition it is very tough to check all the data, so there should be a software. So when you are connected to the computer or network, it becomes vulnerable to various kinds of unauthorized access. Without permission, someone can access it using the internet or the network. So in such a situation, firewall plays a very vital role. A firewall is a security system, I just talked about it, that protects a computer from unauthorized access over a network or internet. So without your authority, no one can download any data in your computer, and no one can send any data from your computer to another computer without your authority. So it protects your computer from unauthorized access. It blocks unauthorized web users. Those who are not authorized by you, it will block them, or any illicit software, any bad software from gaining access to any private network connected to the internet. So any private network or any network is connected to internet, it will not allow any bad software to gain access. Yes, sure.
What is more better, antivirus software or firewall?
Antiviruses mostly come with firewall. So antivirus plus firewall is good to use. If you are getting only antivirus software, it is not good. You should go for antivirus plus firewall, and most of the antivirus softwares like Quick Heal, Norton, they are coming with firewall also. So mostly they come with firewall. It is good to go with antivirus plus firewall. So any unauthorized web user or any illicit or wrong software will not be able to gain access to your network. Now a firewall can be either software or hardware. In our basic computers, means I'm single user, so I will be using only software. But for big network like in your school, we should be going for hardware. And sometimes we go for hardware plus software both. For big companies, they go for hardware and software both. So a firewall could be implemented as hardware only, or as software only, or sometimes a combination of both, hardware plus software. In our computers, we basically go for software version. Firewall software follows a set of rules. Okay, what are these rules? A simple rule is that if you have told the firewall not to allow your sensitive information to go outside the computer, it will not allow. If you have told the firewall software that I want only these many websites to access my data, suppose Google to access my data, Gmail to access my data, YouTube to access my data, then it will allow only these many websites to access it. So it is a rule. So it follows a set of rules. Rules is that these many websites can only access. This rule determine what can enter and what can leave any network. Suppose Gmail can have access, so Gmail can have access. Gmail can enter into the network. Gmail can have access of any data from the network. On the basis of these rules, a firewall monitors, checks and controls the incoming and outgoing network traffic, means incoming and outgoing data. Data which is coming, data which is going. Next is encryption software. Okay, your data is very important. Suppose my file which I am sending over the internet is very important. Someone can have that file. So it is good to change my file into a code. And I am sending. So I am at the sending end, and the person who is at the receiver end can have this coding to again change this file from this code to a file which is readable. Okay, that is good. So for that you need encryption software. The safety of data is of utmost importance. It is very important to make your data safe. There are chances that data could lose its privacy while being transmitted across a computer network or internet, because whatever you send goes to the server, and after the server it goes to the person's computer. So in between is a very long journey, and a long journey which is very fast. So in this long journey someone can have access of your data. So there are chances that data could lose its privacy while being transmitted across the network. When you encrypt, the encryption method is used to protect the data from unauthorized. If someone gets the data, he will not be able to read it. Suppose I am knowing Bengali and you are knowing Bengali, and all other people all over the network are not knowing Bengali. So I will only understand and you will only understand. Now anyone who will have access to this file in Bengali language will not be able to access it. He will not be able to read it because he does not know the code, the language. The encryption method does the same, protects the data from unauthorized access. If he will have access, then also he will not be able to read it. Encryption is a step ahead of firewall in terms of data security or safety. What is encryption? It is a technique used to convert plain text, means words, or any digital data like photo or video from a readable form to encoded version. Means instead of writing A, B, C, D, we have changed it to any code. The code is not understandable by everyone. Now the plain text which was clear, like this sentence, encryption is a technique used to convert plain text, I have converted it into any encrypted version, encoded version, like dot 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 dot, like this. Now the plain text is known as unencrypted data. The plain text before the encryption was unencrypted data. Now it is encrypted, which is encrypted using an encryption algorithm, means a software that encrypts, an encryption key also. Key for whom? The person who will get it. So now the person who will get these dots will have a key. When he will put the key, the whole data will again convert to plain text. So he will not be able to understand till I will give the encryption key. So encryption algorithm actually changed my plain text into code, encoded version, and for again encoding to plain text they need encryption key. So the encoded version of data cannot be decoded or read by any another entity unless they have access to its description key. The encrypted text is referred to as ciphertext. The encrypted text that we have converted is called ciphertext, which is the result of encryption. Because after encryption we will get ciphertext. Ciphertext can only be read if decrypted with the correct key. If you will give the correct key, it will change the ciphertext into plain text and you will be able to read it. This process of again changing the ciphertext into plain text is called decryption. That is the inverse of encryption. So first we had plain text, we converted it into ciphertext. That process is called encryption. After encryption, I sent the data. Data went to the person whom I want to send. Now he is having the key. When he will put the key, this ciphertext will again convert into the plain text, and here it is called decryption. Now the user information that is protected through encryption methods are password, banking system banking information, payment credentials mean payment detail, or any other information that is considered private and sensitive. WhatsApp uses this encryption software. So when you send something to any other person, in between it is encrypted into a different code, and again at the decryption end the WhatsApp changes it into plain text, and the process is very fast. That's why you are not able to know this. Biometric is a security identification and authentication device. A biometric device uses automated methods to authenticate a person's identity. What are these automated methods? What is it checking? How is it authenticating you? A person's identity is authenticated using unique psychological trait or characteristics. For example, your fingerprint is unique for all the people all over the world. Your retina scan is unique. So these physiological trait or characteristics are used to authenticate a person. These characteristics may include either fingerprint, iris print means retina scan, facial images uses facial recognition system, and sometimes your voice also. So these are the four physiological traits which are unique to you. Your fingerprint, your iris print means retina scan, your facial images, your face, and your voice. These characteristics of a person are first saved in a database, and thereafter a biometric device measures biological element of the person to verify identification. So if the biometrics which are given are correct, then he will get the access. Otherwise he will not get the access. So if the input matches with the database, then a person is provided access to the system, or to enter a specific premises means school or any important scientific research laboratory. Authenticating a person's identity using a biometric device requires the physical presence of that person. That person need to be present at the time of identification. He will give the thumb impression, he will give the iris scan, he will give his face. That is important. Next method of authentication that is mostly used by us is the password. Okay, please mute yourself. Okay, next method for cyber security is putting a password. That is the very basic method, common method that we usually use for our mobile phones. We use them. You can protect your sensitive and private information using password. Password protected files cannot be accessed by any unauthorized person. Password protected system cannot be accessed by any unauthorized person. Password is what? A string of characters. Numbers means a group of numbers or words, that is called a string, which can include letter, number, some symbols also as password. Passwords are used to authenticate the user's access. If password is correct, he will get the entry to any device or any program, otherwise he will be rejected. If the password entered by a user matches the code saved in the database, then the user has approval to access the file or system or program, otherwise he will not get access. The use of password ensures that the data is protected from unauthorized access because the person who is knowing the password is a real owner or someone has given the password to any other person. It is always recommended to use those passwords which are easy to memorize by you, but they are strong. Passwords are used for many purposes. For example, logging into your online account, you will have one ID and password. Your banking ID, your email ID, there also we use password. In social networking platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, we also use ID and password. So passwords are there. For accessing any application, we also use password. Any database, Excel also has one password method, or accessing any network also. For example, your Tata ClassAge. If you want to access, you need to have the ID and password. Using ATM card also, when you try to withdraw money or shop online, you also use password. Backup is a very good method. Sometimes someone can come and he can steal your data, delete your data. So instead of saving data only at one location, you can have one copy always with you. That is called backup. Backup is a copy of any information or any data which is stored in your computer, which can help you to retrieve the original data in case you accidentally lose it or if it gets infected by virus. So if you have any important file, important video, important images, then you should create one backup, means one more copy, either one more copy online or one more copy in hard disk or any pen drive. It is always recommended to encrypt the data backup in order to provide a secure access. So when you are copying the data, after copying, encrypt it also in the hard drive or in the pen drive. So maintaining multiple copies of the data will help you in future if you delete the data, if someone sends a virus to infect your data. Okay, now next thing is cookie. Cookie, if you have browsed any website, then you will get one message that we usually put cookies. Okay, so what is a cookie? Cookie is a very small file that is automatically sent by a website. Whenever you will access a website, it will automatically send a very small file to the end user, means to you, to your computer through the web browser. Whenever it is connected to the same website, whenever your browser will open the same website, it will automatically send a cookie, means a small file. It stores your specific data as a text file. So cookies are generally stored for later use. It is having some information about you, for example, what you tried to watch, so that next time when you will open the website using the same browser, then this cookie will help the company to give you good experience. So some examples of cookies are as follows. When you want to log into your email account, you will find that the required website opens with your email ID displayed on the screen. Hence it saves your time to re-enter your email ID. That is because of cookie. So instead of writing your email ID again and again, it is saved by a cookie. When you sometimes revisit an online shopping site, you notice that it automatically picks the data of your last session, what you bought in the last session. So how is it happening? It is helping you to recall the product that you viewed in your last session. It is also because of cookie. The information was saved in the cookie and you are having access to it. So cookie is a method, good method, that helps you get the information exactly what you want, because it is having a very small information about you, about your history of browsing. A cookie basically customizes the website for you, for the user, because it knows what do you want as per your personal interest, whatever you like. Therefore, cookies are harmless. However, if a computer system is used by multiple people, then a person can scan the cookie folder of other user and may try to look for password of sensitive information, or can also hijack the account using the cookie. So it is advisable to delete the cookies frequently, means after 1 week or 1 month you need to delete the cookies so that you can avoid any privacy threat, especially for those computers which are used by multiple people. Suppose you are in a cyberspace a cyber cafe you are working, or you are working in a school or in your organization, and all the computers are connected together, so that it is better to go for deletion of cookie, because that is having very sensitive information about you. Okay class,